How's it going, everybody? My name is Chronicle and welcome back to another video. Today we are playing Fireside Feelings. It's a game that came out semi-recently. We're going to be gathering around the campfire and sharing a nice, deep conversation amongst the stars. Super exciting, seems to have some good story behind it, and I'm excited to get down to all of the world's greatest mysteries. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know what you think of the video, and we're just gonna jump right into it. Okay, let's jump right into this and see what we got. I guess we can make our own character. I'm gonna go with this guy. Hey, there we go. I like it. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to write there. PMA, positive mental attitude. Guess we get to pick what we want to wear as well. I like that. Let's rock with that. You are about to share emotions with players from all over the world. To keep these exchanges respectful, we carefully filter messages. However, some topics may still be sensitive or triggering. We've pre-disabled certain themes. If you want to manage them, click here. I'm good. All right, let's go. Let's go on a journey of self-improvement. Oh, hello. Are you joining us? Hey, Spark. Oh, hello. Oh, I just love meeting new people. We were actually just talking about friendship. I'm so glad you're here. It's always so lovely to chat all night long with friends. What's your relationship with friendship? Do you think we'll manage to become friends? Spark asked you a question. Now it's your turn to answer. Click on the bubble to start writing your response. Click on this button to divide your response into multiple bubbles. This will make it easier to read for other players. Click on this button to send your response once you're done. Alright, do we think we can become friends? If we are able to find common ground in an uncommon world, anything is possible. Alright, what do we think of that? I mean, to be fair, anytime you are able to find some sort of common nature between you and somebody else, it's a lot easier to build a relationship. And I feel like if everybody was able to just kind of find one thing that we all agreed on, it would be a lot easier to really overcome and continue on to just so much good. Really just with being able to agree on one thing, it's quite crazy if you truly sit down and think about it. And you? Ha, maybe. Okay, so not quite as philosophic, but it's okay. You'll see it's always magical to remake the world around a good campfire. Plus, you both seem like two people who will quickly become friends. Sometimes Life puts people in your path and boom! PMA, has it ever happened to you? Meeting someone and instantly knowing they'd become a friend? Well, I can say I have ran into instant friendship. However, such things come only as often as one puts their mind to. Okay, has it ever happened to you, meeting someone and instantly knowing they'd become a friend? Well, I can say I have ran into instant friendship. However, such things come only as often as one puts their mind to. Friendship is a mutual thing, if you ask me personally, and it's something that takes two parties. Again, it goes back to just finding that one common ground. It's a lot easier to establish any sort of relationship when you can simply just have one thing to talk about, or to agree on, or even to just enjoy doing. Makes a big difference when it comes to friendship. Let's see what a soft fox says. Oh man, yes I do. Although it wasn't just a friend, it was an entire friend group I'm still with since high school. Well, that's pretty unique actually. I feel like a lot of people tend to split up and go in different directions and paths, especially after school in general. I know that was something similar that happened with me. There's not too many people that I still associate with or talk to from high school, really. It's funny, you see them every now and then, and you may strike up a brief conversation, but you almost become strangers after a period of time. It was funny since we started talking to each other because we partnered up on a project for a class we did not care about. See, that's common ground right there. That's kind of what I was saying. You all could care less about the project. It brought you guys together a lot easier than if half of you guys, for example, did care and half of you didn't. We've talked, they introduced me to their friends, and the rest is history. As long as we're surrounded by the right people, right? Do you prefer having lots of friends around you, or just a few close ones? I gotta say, personally, I'm more of a close friend kind of person, so as long as we're surrounded by the right people, right? Do you prefer having lots of friends around you, or just a few close ones? Personally, I prefer a few close friends. It makes life so much easier when things get busy, and it's hard to keep up with relationships. You don't feel guilty or overwhelmed when you disappear for a while. Life be lifing, you know? That's why I prefer just a few close people. It's a lot easier to maintain a good friendship with one or two folks versus trying to have 30 or 40 people, right? Just a crazy number or something like that you're constantly trying to keep up with, and birthdays and holidays, and it's just too much. One or two people that you know have your back and will be there no matter what, it's all you need. Anything more than that should just be acquaintances, really, or friends of friends, right? I mean, I have plenty of people who I don't necessarily consider a friend, but we don't, you know, if we're at a party together or something like that, I'm gonna say what's up, I'm gonna be able to talk to them and have a conversation, but I don't think about them on a regular basis. I don't worry about how they're feeling or what they're up to or how their parents are doing. You know, that kind of relationship should be limited to a smaller amount of people. That's just how I feel, at least. Let's see how our cohort feels. It's hard to say I prefer having a few close friends when I have many friends around me currently. But I at least have my close circle of friends that I know I can always count on. It's nice having a lot of friends, but planning a hangout can get a bit messy. I'm not saying I regret having many friends, I'm just much happier with my close few friends I can rely on. So, that kind of goes back to what I was saying. Having a lot of people that you know and get along with definitely has its benefits, but having those 2 or even 3 people that you know no matter what, they're going to be there thick and thin, I think that's all you really need. Anything more is just too complicated, too much to keep up with. Last night, I was chatting with a hiker from Slovenia, and she was telling me about her little cousin who in a few minutes made a new friend at the playground. And she thought to herself, when was the last time you made a friend? Like a real one. Not just a party buddy or a colleague. A real one, the kind you stay up all night with, remaking the world around a fire. Could you say when you last made a friend like that? How did it happen? What made you take that step? When's the last time I really went out of my way to make a friend? The kind of friend it's honestly probably been a little while. I know, like, in my everyday work and just day-to-day life, there's plenty of people I've bumped into and have made some sort of a relationship with. But I mean, the last time I can truly remember just having a friend that you could sit out underneath the stars with for hours and hours just talking about everything and nothing was probably high school, honestly. When I was in school and everything was simple, there wasn't work, there wasn't, your 9 to 5 or anything crazy like that. Things seemed so complicated, but looking back, they were so simple. The last time I had gone out of my way for a friendship like that was school. Life was simple, no worries, no responsibilities. Yet now that I am looking back, it was indeed complicated. It was just simple and planned out for me, no need to think too much. As you grow, that fearlessness of saying hello disappears, and even your closest friends become strangers. The last time I made a friend was, I think, a year ago. It was through mutual friends in university, and we were introduced to each other in a club since our mutual invited her. We automatically clicked since we both have a love for D&D. Oh yeah, nerd it up, my guy. Let me get on that campaign. And I was invited to be a player for her campaign. I really think that it was me actually talking to her, and being so excited about our shared interest, we really got along. What kind of friend is this? Bow chicka wow wow! Oh, have you ever fallen in love with a friend? And if so, what did you do? Honestly, I feel like I have. I mean, I think we all had that friend, right? Quote unquote friend that you had a crush on, and maybe not necessarily put in a friend zone, but whether it was a series of unfortunate events or bad timing or whatever the case may be, right? We all have had that one person that no matter how badly we've tried or how much we've put effort towards having that kind of love, right? It just never worked out. Have you ever fallen in love with a friend? And if so, what did you do? I have. I feel we all have, at least once. Sometimes things just aren't meant to be. You grow apart, people change, they fall in love, have kids, and all that remains are the memories of when we were young. Ha, yeah. I fell for a handful of my friends, actually. Oh, wow. Interesting. One friend I simply didn't say anything, since I didn't want to ruin what we currently have. Another I confessed but was rejected. Damn. It's alright. I feel like we've all had some sort of rejection in our life. And another, well, turns out she was straight, so she didn't like me back. I don't know. Definitely some deep thoughts coming from this. Some of these people I'm still friends with, luckily. I do think it's important to communicate with each other's feelings. That is true. Any core of any relationship is communication. Without that, everything just kind of falls apart. If someone is worried about losing a friend after they confess, I can at least assure them that if the bond between you two is strong, I doubt that person would stop being their friend, you know? That is true. Especially if it is somebody that you've kind of have had that time to build that relationship with. It might be awkward for a little bit, but I feel like at the end of the day, it should be something that you guys can kind of just laugh about. But on the flip side, that also comes down to your own personal, like, feelings. I mean, if you get rejected and you're, like, truly hurt by that, and seeing that other person kind of brings you pain in a sense, I could truly understand why at that point it might be better to just kind of separate and go separate ways versus continuing to almost torture yourself in the sense that every time you see this person, you know you want to be with them and you want this life with them, but you can't ever actually go down that road. Spark. ... You've probably also lost friends, I imagine, like all of us. For me, it's almost every time the sun rises. That's funny, because, you know, the camping trip is over. People move on, they go back to their everyday lives, and poor old Spark here is left to dwindle and waste away into embers and ashes until the next set of campers come along to ignite the spark between two people. But when I talk about losing a friend, who comes to your mind immediately? Honestly, it's probably got to be like my main set of friends I hung out with in high school. I mean, there was 4 or 5 of us that hung out every day after school. And one by one, we kind of all slowly went on to do different things, you know? We all get jobs, we all move to different areas, we all have different goals and aspirations with life, and again, slowly, one by one, everybody moves on to bigger and better things. At least hopefully for most. You've probably also lost friends, I imagine, like all of us. For me, it's almost every time the sun rises. But when I talk about losing a friend, who comes to your mind immediately? My main friend group in high school. We would hang out every day for hours and hours. There were 4 or 5 of us, and we all got really close. But as time goes on, one by one, we all split. Some went off to school, others started a family, and the rest went headfirst into their career. I miss those days. And you? Hearing about losing a friend hurts. I luckily didn't have a situation where I've immediately stopped a friendship. But I've certainly had friendships fade and lost to time. It's normal. It's bound to happen as things change. We grow as people, and major life choices come into play. I try to dwell on what could have been if I stayed in contact with that person. All I do is wish that they're happy right now. It's usually the best I could do. Speaking about breakups, have you ever ended a friendship because you thought it was better for you? That you loved the person in one way or another, but it wasn't good for your well-being to have them around? Or simply to be so close to them? I truly can't say I've ever had a friendship where I feel that way. Definitely relationships. But I can't ever say just like friends. I mean, as we kind of talked about a little bit here, it's most of it just time and major life events taking you away. And even still, I feel like a lot of those people I could probably talk to now and still kind of be able to pick up where we left off, and things wouldn't be but so weird, right? I mean, obviously, you kind of have to get over that initial, hey, we haven't talked in so long, but once you get back into where things kind of left off, I feel like for a lot of the people in my life, I could probably pick up that conversation and continue on. Speaking about breakups, have you ever ended a friendship because you thought it was better for you? That you loved the person in one way or another, but wasn't good for your well-being to have them around, or simply to be close to them? I can't say I've ever had a friendship like that. Definitely relationships where two people just aren't meant to be. Most of my friendships are lost to time. People change, life changes, and things move on. Nothing stops the endless march of time. I've had that before. This one kid from middle school I tried so desperately to cling onto, since at the time I didn't have many friends. It got pretty bad when I changed and he changed. We were pretty much complete opposites of each other. And not really in a good sense, where opposites attract. Our friendship at that point was water and oil in a box. It was bad, and I had to break it off. My friend group supported me in this choice, and it certainly was for the better. I'm sure we were both happier ever since we stopped being friends. One last question, because I don't want to keep you up all night. Especially since if I did, it would probably catch fire. But if we asked your friends to give an adjective that best defines you, what would it be? I would say relentless. No matter what's put in front of me, I'm going to go through any path over and over again until either I figure it out or I get so frustrated that there isn't any possible way that I will be able to figure it out. Alright. Relentless. No matter what is placed in front of me, I will find a way. Or die trying. Just a little joke, but I think the relentless part is pretty accurate. I recently asked my girlfriend. She says I'm lovely, but I don't think that counts. I feel like my friends would call me charismatic. It's just very fitting to me. I've always been told by my friends that I have the energy that holds a room. Like I have this large presence when I'm there. They say in conversation I'm a great storyteller. That my friends are always enthralled by my words. Personally, I think it's overdramatic of them to say, but I'm quite flattered by it, and I appreciate the kind words they give me. Thank you so much, my friends. It was a sweet and tender moment. I'll remember it for a long time. But before you go to bed, you can take the camera I hid behind that rock, so you never forget that tonight you had a real heart-to-heart moment with a stranger. A photo with a stranger. Oh, and I get a little Polaroid camera. Oh, I get to shake it. Shake, shake, shake. Oh, look at us. A few words. Alright, look. Oh, and we get to keep the little Polaroid here. I'm sure there's going to be some more conversations to be had. Truthfully, I think we're going to leave the episode here. We definitely kind of got our toes wet, got a good idea of what Fireside Feelings is about. Definitely makes you think. It's a deep game. I like the character aspect where you're having a conversation with a stranger that's not necessarily there in real time. It's a good way to kind of open up a conversation not only with a quote-unquote stranger, but with yourself, kind of dig into your deeper feelings and kind of, you know, the philosophical questions and your past experiences and, you know, just how you feel in general. I think it's good to kind of have that open and honest communication, not only with other people, but with yourself. The world would definitely be a better place if we could all just kind of gather around a campfire and have an open conversation. Especially nowadays, I feel a lot of people are struggling, not only with, you know, just life in general, but with themselves. I feel like a lot of people are lonely nowadays, and the first step kind of around that is a conversation. And sometimes that needs to be with yourself, but I feel like this is a good way to kind of open up the doors where you're talking to somebody, but you're also having that conversation with yourself. But anyways, let me know kind of what you thought of the game. Let me know if you want to see some more of it. Definitely need to come up with a name for a little guy here. So like, comment, subscribe, put some suggestions down in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys are wanting to see some more conversation with strangers. Otherwise, this was Fireside Feelings, and we'll see you in the next episode.